It's the beginning of a new year, and maybe you were thinking about doing a kitchen remodel, you're building a new home, or maybe your kitchen just needs a facelift. So today we are going to talk about when you're designing a kitchen, what your focal points should be, what they commonly are, and the pros and cons of those focal points.
Most focal points in a kitchen are going to also be very large budget items. So we hope this is really helpful for you and your project. Welcome to Emilee and Lora. I'm Emilee.
And I am Lora. So we're going to start with countertops. We're going to start with granite. And granite is a great hard surface stone that is very forgiving. It can take heat. It's not as porous as other stones are. Doesn't attract all of those wine, hot sauce, and stuff like that that you need to be worried about. And it's just easy to care for.
Yeah, I also like it because seams can be hidden really well when you're adding on a lot of square footage. Also, it seems to be a little bit more forgiving when you have crumbs and all those messes that those kids like to make. So I like it for that.
Yeah, for sure. The cons about granite is that it can be chipped. So it is not as fragile as other stones are. But anytime that you cut a stone, like around the sink or on the edge of a countertop, that is the most fragile part of stone. So if you hit it without a pan just right, you can chip it. But it is very easy to fix. People come out, they take an epoxy, they mix it with a little bit of color, and you'll never be able to find that chip ever again. What's different is like with marble, which is another wonderful, beautiful surface that everybody seems to be really attracted to these days because it has such sexy veining.
Yeah. But now with the new granites that we've seen, it seems like they're really kind of giving that same feel as marble.
They have brought in some really great granites that are less speckly. I think that's one of the things that people really didn't like about them, is they felt that they were really busy. And now a lot of the newer granites that are coming out are also lighter and they have a little bit more veining. So that is very true. But on the marble, it is very porous. So it's a soft stone. You can chip it a lot easier than you can a granite. And it will soak up pretty much everything that you put on it. It loves to do that. It's gorgeous, it's sexy, but it needs a lot of care. But if you were a baker, then marble countertops are probably what you're going to want.
Yeah.
If you are a person who is okay with marbles that have that patina, aged type of look, then
they're great.
You could have a marble. You can live around it a lot more freely and not always be worried about the little stains. And some of the marbles are busy enough that you can hide those stains, that you don't notice them as much. You can bleach out some of those stains. Baking soda is a good way to do that with some baking soda and water. There's some other marble cleaners that are safe for marble that won't break it down, that you can do it, but you will never 100% get it out.
Yeah. Another countertop option that's been pretty popular lately is quartz.
Well, it's been the alternative for marble, right? A lot of people, because you can get those looks of marbles that everybody loves.
Which you pay more for.
That's right. So that's the thing, is that if you're going to buy a quartz countertop and you want it to look like marble, it might be as much as the marble that you're wanting it to look like. So do your homework first to make sure that it really is less expensive. So maybe it's not less expensive, but the reason why you're going towards the quartz is because you've been told that it is can't be stained and it can't be chipped, and that some people even say that you can put heat on it, but you cannot. You cannot put anything hot on it. You are going to burn it. It is more forgiving than marble and other stones.
Quartzite is another great natural stone option. It can be more expensive than granite or quartz, but offers the natural beauty similar to marble, which is nice if you're looking for something more durable and stronger than marble, and also have the same budget as marble. They can still be porous, so you'll need to properly seal them, but definitely a gorgeous stone.
So next would be a soapstone. So soapstone is a beautiful stone. If you like that vintage, dark, you can use it in modern aesthetics as well. It usually has kind of a gray to black tone green or blue tone to it. Some of them have some brown veining going through, but it's more of a neutral surface, but it does stain as well. So it absorbs everything. You just don't see a lot more of it, but it starts to get aged and patinaed, very much like a marble would, which is one of the reasons why people love soapstone. It does need to be treated if you want it to always look new. So if you wanted all wood countertops, you can certainly do that. They stain as well. And you always want to use something that's food safe, because in the wood, you can build up in certain woods, not all, but you can build up bacteria. So you need to make sure that it's all food safe. Next would be a porcelain. So what's great about a porcelain is very similar to the quartz, is that you can get all those beautiful patterns that you like. And it's super hard and it doesn't stain. And you can put some heat on it. But the problem is that it's a thin product. So when you are using it on countertops and you're using it around sinks, they build the edges up so that you can get the thickness that you want. And that makes it more fragile. So those areas are actually more fragile in a porcelain than they are with natural stone. So you just need to be cautious about that and understand that when you're getting a porcelain. It is also going to cost you more because the fabricators have to take more care in cutting it, because it's a thinner product. It breaks easier. So it usually costs a lot more. So the next thing that you can use is concrete. So concrete is beautiful. You can even do concrete that looks like terrazzo. So it has a bunch of different colors in it and a bunch of different shapes in it. Terrazzo, a lot of times you see for floors. It's very popular for countertops as well. Concrete is porous. And so if it's going to be a solid color, which it usually is, it'll have a little bit of a muddled look to it. Which is the attraction to the concrete. It's also organic or industrial feel.
And there are some new green options out there that are definitely worth exploring.
For sure. There's that engineered printed stone, which is super interesting. Also looks a lot like marble. So it kind of mimics the look of the porcelain stone, but it's 2 cm. So it's thicker. So that is really cool. We'll link that down below if you want to go and take a look at that. And then there is Decton, which is a great product. It's not necessarily a new product, but what's great about it is it's a green product and it does take heat.
That's great.
So that is a really good thing. And the patterns are gorgeous. I mean, colors, and you can get 3 cm. So if you like that thicker countertop.
I love it.
How do you use your stone?
So I mean, we can use the stone with like waterfall islands. Great way to really showcase the stone.
If you're gonna get a stone that has some really sexy veining in it, patterned, whatever, you can waterfall it. You do have to buy a lot of stone surface for that.
Again, big ticket item.
That's right. And you can take it and on the perimeter, if you're going to use it on the island like that and it has so much attention, you can take it on the perimeter and just use it on the backsplash. Or you can just take it up to the hood vent and you can wrap your hood with the stone. And that's another way to get it over there. If you do that on your perimeter, just pick out a color that is in the stone that you can use as a solid surface on the perimeter. The perimeter is the part of the kitchen that goes around, that's around the island. And use the solid surface over there and then take that beautiful stone back on the backsplash again.
There's so many great ways to really showcase your stone if you're really like in love with it and you want that to be where the eye is drawn to.
Let's say your budget doesn't allow you to do the waterfall. That's fine. You can do it just on your countertop. Let's say it doesn't allow you to do it that way yet either. Then just put it on your backsplash.
The next big focal point is going to be cabinets.
There's so many great options for cabinets, right? Many different wood species. You can also do painted cabinets, or you can do a European type cabinet, which is really a laminate that is put on the cabinet. A lot of times you've seen it in a high gloss. It does come in a matte. You can also get it with different patterns in it as well. That's more of a modern aesthetic.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to decide which of those that you prefer. A painted cabinet allows you to be busier in your countertops or your backsplash because it is just one solid, right? So it doesn't command as much tension, even if it's a color. So it still allows you to bring some movement in the room in other ways.
Yeah.
Where wood has movement in it.
A lot of movement, yeah.
Right. So if you're going to be using a wood that has movement in it, then you might want to think about your hard surface like your countertop or your backsplashes, right? Or maybe if you want to have a slab hood vent, that's going to be busy as well. So that is something you need to consider. Maybe you do a combination of wood and painted so that you can have a busier wood and a busier hard surface in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But the busy hard surface is showcased more around the painted cabinets instead of the wood cabinets. Yeah, so there are ways to do that. Just know that if you're busy with everything in the kitchen, because cabinets and countertops are your two biggest items inside of your kitchen. Cabinets first, then countertops. And because they command so much tension in the kitchen, if they're both very busy, then it's going to make your kitchen very overwhelming because we haven't even talked about lighting and cabinet hardware and all the other things in your kitchen as well. So when you're picking these out, you have to think of every piece and how it's coming together.
A couple of the pros and cons of painted cabinets. You want to make sure that you are getting the best quality paint if you're doing it yourself. That is, the durability is made for cabinets.
For sure. If you are buying cabinets from a cabinet company, that is always going to be your best option for painted cabinets because the surface is very hard and very durable. So it just wears better. If you're doing it yourself and you're painting your cabinets, do the research so that you know how to prep your surface first and then apply a good paint.
If you do a wood species, it's really important to talk with your cabinet maker about the longevity of the wood. Woods tend to oxidize over time and can change color. You just really want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, again, long term. The next big item in the kitchen are appliances. Yeah, they take up a lot of real estate, and you really want to know if you're going to have them make a statement or if you're going to just kind of maybe hide them a little. There's cabinet fronts that you can do if you're looking for that. But then there's also these amazingly beautiful like ranges, and you're just like a big cook and you want to show off your skills. Maybe you want that to be the big showcase.
If that is going to be your focal point, then you can do all kinds of things. You can paint it in different colors. You can have it two-toned in two different metal finishes. But you have to take the same consideration with that appliance as you do with the wood and the countertops. Is that if that is where all your attention's going to be, then know that you need to be a little bit more subdued everywhere else so that you can make that the focal point. But a sexy range with a beautiful backsplash and an awesome vent hood, or if you do not want a vent hood, or if you're doing in something that you want to be more clean, where the vent hood just kind of dies into the cabinetry, it really makes the focal point only about the range and the backsplash and not the vent hood. So there are ways to do that so that it all really stays down low and all about your range. If it is your refrigerator, there's some great refrigerators out there, and you can also paint them in different colors. You can get pro-styled refrigerators where they have the glass fronts that you can actually see in, and the hinges are very big and beefy and the handles are very big and beefy. You can get those in stainless or in colors. So you just kind of have to decide, what is important to me? What do I really want to stand out in my kitchen? If you want your refrigerator to go away and you want to do a paneled front refrigerator, then you can do that and your refrigerator just goes away, and now you've redirected that attention to a different appliance.
Yeah.
But let's say you don't want the range or the refrigerator, which are the two appliances that are the attention grabbers in the kitchen, and you want to do something that's cleaner, like a cooktop or an induction.
Yeah.
Well, then you can really make the vent hood your focal point.
Yeah.
All right. And there's so many different things that you can do with your vent hood. You can go in many different metals. You can go brass, blackened steel, copper, clean, ornate, rivets on
lime
them.
wash.
You can lime wash. You can plaster, so it has all the movement and tactile feeling, but doesn't, really command a whole lot of attention. It's also a lot more affordable than a lot of these other hoods that I just mentioned. You can Roman clay. Roman clay looks a lot like plaster, just easier to work with.
And stay tuned for our next video, because then we're gonna dig into the nuts and bolts of the kitchen that are all the little things that you don't wanna forget, and we know will be very helpful if you are planning your next kitchen design.
Yeah, like electric, under cabinet lighting,
Yes.
hardware. So look out for that video.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.